is the Page of Wands, and I'm going to use this for your crowning energy. 3 of Swords, upright, 3 of Cups, the Star reverse, Queen of Wands, Ace of Pentacles reverse, 8 of Cups reverse, King of Cups reverse. This is the 8 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. Okay. So, okay, so what I do sense, of course, obviously this card is problematic. But then, so let's just talk about your finances first, because I do feel that it is related to finances more than anything. The one person that is in the reverse position is the water sign. So this is potentially a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio that you're dealing with. And, in general, it's not problematic because you actually have dealt with this person and you're not getting the result that you're hoping for with this person. And there is overall blockage. I wouldn't say blockage. You're stopping the communication with this person, okay? Or the other person is like halting the communication altogether. So it could play out in one of those two ways. So either way, I do feel that this situation has a resolution towards the end of the month. As for your finances, for those of you who are looking for like a big payout, it could be a divorce settlement. It could also be like, just a pending decision on a lawsuit or something like that too. I do feel that in order to collect this settlement, in order to get this payout that you've been waiting a long time for, you're going to have to go back to a previous situation. You're probably going to have to deal with this person in order to collect it, and which is something you're not very hesitant, you're not very comfortable going back to, which is fine. But I do feel in general things are going to be stalled. If you're looking for communication, especially like positive communication, the other person is putting a stop to that, mainly because they want to protect their assets, okay? They want to protect whatever is theirs. They want to hold on to it a little bit longer. And it's like a filibuster. They're being childish about it, and they'd rather, like, even though they can't really do anything with this financial resources, they just don't want you to get your hands on it, is what I'm sensing. So it could be like a drawn out legal dispute. It could also be like a lot of you might have been in a work environment. A lot of you might have been promised a promotion, a bonus, a big payout, or like even like a bonus for the hard work that you put in. And I do feel that hard work here is indicated. And even though you're trying your best to do it, and you're trying your best to maintain your composure, I do feel in general that it is greatly delayed, and mainly because there are more people that the company is trying to reward, okay? So if you were, for example, if they were promising you, a bonus or like a payout, and and you feel that it's going to be like an informal contract, when in fact I do feel that it is drawn out, mainly because they're trying to make like a big spectacle, a big ceremony out of it, and all the people that deserve recognition are going to be up there. You're probably going to be up there too, and that's why, like, in the process of planning this big event, that's why the process is drawn out, okay? So just know that it is going to, I do feel that it can be resolved, and I do feel that in general, if it's happening this month, or if it was like promised in the past, it can be resolved peacefully. If it's just started like through this month, like after the first week, you might be competing with other people that you were not aware of. So like for those of you who might have like recently changed jobs as well, or you're looking at another position like with a higher pay scale, and you're hoping to land that position, and other people tell you you're like a shoo-in, there is actually more people on the competitor roster. So there are quite a few contenders, basically. So the point here is that you just have to, outshine them, which is not going to be a problem for you because you are a people person, so you can mitigate a lot of the effects of being overlooked or whatever, because you do have the ability to like mediate disputes. And I feel that that is one of the things that you're going to have to rely on in order like to navigate through office politics, if that's something you're dealing with. Or if you're navigating in relationships, I feel that you are going to be the mediator too. Because I do feel like these two cards indicate like threesome types of relationship in which you're kind of like caught between both parties. And then this is like conflict here, conflict of interest and just pettiness, just like trying to win debates on technicalities. And people around you are like mired in this. So you have to play mediator as well in your work environment. As for love, I don't feel that, it's the best month. And honestly, this card coming out first, I do feel that a lot of you might be out like smack dab, like from the very beginning. So this is residual energies. And coupled with this card, these are both 3 energies. This is in the upright position, so it's a good position for it. And in general, I feel that a lot of you too might have come out of situations in which there were 3 people involved and you had no idea. And or like a competitor for your object of affection, for their love, and or for their hand in marriage, or something very archaic like that. It's like you thought you had like a solid foundation, and then this person came out of the left field, and the person that you're dealing with is kind of like not sure what to do, and you were thrown aback. You were surprised because this person just literally came out of nowhere. So that third wheel, that triangle, like if it's something that a lot of you are dealing with in your current relationships, it could also be like you're in a solid relationship, but the ex is persistent and won't let it go. It could be your ex, it could be the other person's ex, it could be like an Aquarius as well, or a water sign, so like an Aquarius or a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. That could be problematic. Okay, so at the same time, I would say this is your crowning energy here, and what I do sense is that we do have the Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands here, and this is not the same element as you. So I would say you do have help. Okay, you do have help. If you are like in your 20s or 30s, I do feel that there is a younger person in your environment that can help you with this situation. Okay, and this person has very good insights from another source, like from somebody who could potentially be in his or her family, or somebody who's just very like level-headed, who's kind of like willing to help, but in a very detached manner. Okay, so he or she will offer advice only if you take it. If you choose not to, then he or she will keep mum, like won't offer up anything. Okay, so it's contingent upon you taking up the advice, or offering or asking for the help that is on offer. Okay, so rather than going about it alone, I do feel that you would be in a better place. Well, Libras in general are better at partnerships, but I do feel for this month, taking someone's offer for help, or asking for help, would be the right thing to do. So if I were to, so if this wasn't his crowning energy, so then I would just put it here. I'm just trying to see what he or she is looking at. So in this situation, it's like this card reminds me of the boy who cried wolf. And what I'm getting out of this is things are not that bad. Okay, in the midst of it, it's going to seem like it is bad based on this card and based on the finance card. Okay, so in the midst of it, you're going to feel like, okay, you need to like pray, you need to appeal to a higher power. It seems like that almost. But this, again, like I said, it is residual energy. It already happened. It's done and over with. Moving forward, if anything, I feel that it should be, pretty clear cut for you. So don't try to complicate the matters. I do feel that a lot of you a lot of you are like still wavering because you know you are the balancing scale, so you are trying to like see things from both parties' perspective, when in fact it's like, you know, things happen, we learn from it, and then we just move on. Okay, sometimes things are not fair, that's just the way life goes. So it is very, not to oversimplify, not to downplay the anguish that could potentially come in, or, you know, a lot of the troublesome energies that a lot of you might be dealing with. But I do feel that it's important to like extract the lesson and then move past it, because you don't want to dwell in it, especially in the early stages when you don't have all the information yet. So I hope that makes sense, because I do feel like blockages and like a blockage in communication, in like very sincere communication, is not happening, mainly because it's from the other party, it's not from you. But at the same time, for some of you, like I said, this is the boy who cried wolf. Okay, if you're dealing with a fire sign, a young energy, or somebody who is like emotionally kind of immature, just be very careful that the information they're giving you, they're feeding you, is like based on jealousies and gossips more than anything else. So be discerning about the sources that you get your information from as well. And while it's important to see things from both sides of the coin, sometimes your gut instincts, you know, should be taken into account as well. Okay, so try not to like try not to get mired down in the technicalities, mired by the technicalities, and try not to dwell on that a little too much, because it's important that you see the big picture. Okay, and at the same time, I feel that so we only have one major arcana card, and it's the star. The star is the wish card, and it is in the reverse position. I'm going to pull out another card just to see what this wish is referring to. Okay, so like I mentioned, look at the big picture and try not to try not to dwell on the details, on the technicalities, because ultimately the big picture is like the ultimate outcome. So you want to just focus on that. Okay, alright, so this is interesting. So I pulled out a card to see what the star refers to, because it is a wish card. It is also in the reverse position, and it is conflict. Okay, so we have 3 wands energy, 4 wands energy here, and this indicates like conflict with amongst other people, like in people who are in your midst, and they're just giving each other a hard time, giving yourself a hard time. Okay, and there is a, so for example, on one way that this could play out, if for example you have a love interest, okay, and if you happen to be like seeing a fire sign, or if you're in a relationship with a fire sign, I do feel that there might be like competitors vying for either, you know, that person that you like, or if you're looking for a position at work, if you're looking for that promotion, there are a lot of people also like fighting for that position. So just be aware of that. Okay, so like it's competitive. So I do feel that it is a very cutthroat, very competitive atmosphere, in which people are not operating at their best, at their higher self. Okay, and ultimately everyone is like trying to like show off their best assets. I don't feel that you are. Everyone else is like taking this a little too seriously, and they're is bringing out the worst in people, and they're trying to like what I'm sensing is like the queen here, or the decision maker, you know, the one with the political clout to basically make and finalize all decisions. So they're all trying to make themselves stand out, and they're all trying to vie for his or her affection, and they're trying to like be the victor, of course. And what you're doing up here as a Libra, you are pretty passive. Okay, you are very passive, and you are also like at times can be indecisive to a fault. So it's very important for you to really understand the whole picture, so that you know where you fit into this, so that you can objectively assess your opponents and know how you can stand out in this situation, because you are not very confrontational. So in the process, you might not shine, okay? So what you all ultimately want is for the fighting to stop, and you want to like everyone to have like the same goal, and you want to be like the leader in this situation, okay? You want to be the leader. But in this environment, it's not going to happen for you because the people are like self-interested. They don't really want to work as a unit, and they don't really see eye to eye on a lot of things. So that would be like the only problematic thing coming in on the work front for this month, okay? So there are like meaningless disputes, and everyone, it's just like an ego game between people, and you are trying to steer things the right way, but I don't feel that people that you're dealing with are going to be receptive to this energy. And at the same time, we do have Mercury in retrograde, so things are going to get jumbled, especially with communication. There will be delays. And if you're looking for, like any final decisions, I feel that this authority figure, it's a woman here, but it could be male or female. The person that has the ultimate say is going to drag her or his feet. So he or she is going to take a really long time to finalize this decision. I don't feel it is going to get resolved. And then what I'm sensing is, in a love or in a business relationship, he or she is like narrowing down the prospects. They're trying to find the strongest candidates. So they're like screening out, they're weeding out, the riffraff. And in the process of doing that, they end up with like a select few. So then, even then, towards the end of the month, I do feel that you still have to contend for power here, mainly because this is not resolved. Okay, so I hate to like say that because it doesn't sound very satisfying to end on that note for the month. But I do hope that the weekly reading will provide a little more insight. But overall, just don't worry about it, because I feel like the cards all reinforce the same theme. So at least, it's just one aspect that you're dealing with, like either work or interpersonal relationships, So without major arcana cards, except the star, we don't have any other major arcana cards affecting this spread. So that indicates to me this is just mainly mundane energies that you're going to go through and deal with on a daily basis. So I do feel that it is greatly like related to the work environment or in the home environment. Okay, so either way, I hope you can get through this month unscathed. And I feel that, yeah, so as a warning, for those of you who might have been like involved with somebody in the past, somebody who's very emotional, very sensitive, but is prone to like emotional manipulation, just be very careful and not get back into that situation, because I feel that you are going to be tempted. Mainly because you have a strong emotional connection with that person, okay? But they are very they're not to your best interest, first of all, and also they're not sincere, and they really guard their feelings close to heart, okay? So no matter how sensitive they might appear to you, I feel that it is a front, because deep down they're lacking in emotional depth as well. So you might need somebody who understands you on a more intuitive level, who will understand where you're coming from, so that you don't have to like constantly explain yourself, okay? So try to do that for this month and not go back to any previous situations, and just be very patient with, if you're expecting news and things like that, just be very patient, okay? Hang in there. And I'm hoping that the weekly readings will flush out the energies too. If you would like a private reading, please contact me at temperatestar@gmail.com. And the information for my new website actually is underneath this video if you click on the little arrow, okay? So have a good month. I will see you next week for the weekly reading. Thank you so much for watching.